No man, for any considerable period, can wear one face to himself and another to the multitude, without finally getting bewildered as to which may be the true. Nathaniel Hawthorne. This is, of course, the clinical definition of hypocrisy. In today's video, I'm going to outline 3 different points that prove those on the left in this country are being driven solely by emotion. The emotionally driven life can only lead to hypocrisy. They are under the delusion that they are thinking when they are really feeling. So let's get to it. The first stop we have to make is with this rare elected Democrat in Florida. His name is Carlos Guillermo Smith. He's representing the 49th House District in Orlando, I believe. He has come out against this new law that has been passed by the Florida legislature that penalizes social media companies for picking and choosing which political beliefs they want to promote and which ones they want to shadow ban. He believes they have that right to choose what information they deem to be harmful or they deem to be hateful, and then get rid of it, and then promote their own political ideas, and then still get protections as if they were trying to promote free speech. It's incredibly hypocritical, but he reveals something about himself, and he reveals something about his party. Now, this is all over social media. Florida is set to become the first state to punish social media sites that deplatform politicians with fines of up to $250,000 a day. But when you start reading through all the articles, this one's from CNET, this one is from Times News Express, it's this last one. Online-tvchannel.org, I will, of course, give you all of these links so that you can read them for yourself. When you go down to what Representative Smith says, it reveals that they want a ministry of truth. They want someone out there, some power that, of course, they choose, to establish what is truth and what is not. Regardless of what's going on in real life, they want to have authorized truths and everything else being banned. See, the king in England, the king in Spain, the king in France, during the early part of the life of this country, had the same idea. And we can read this in a quote from Representative Smith. He says, "There's an easy solution that doesn't involve passing a new law that will likely lead to a protracted court battle. Quote, stop trafficking in what they believe to be conspiracy theories," he told GOP leaders. That's the solution. Stop pushing what they believe to be misinformation. If you're a candidate or an incumbent elected official, stop telling what they believe to be lies on social media. Stop what they believe to be is inciting insurrection against our republic. You see, they want to be the determiners of that. They want to be the determiners of truth. And what they believe should only be believed by everyone. That's their goal. Now, how does that make them hypocrites? Well, we have to go someplace else to prove this. You see, there's all sorts of disinformation out there. There's all sorts of things that cause damage out there. The only damage that they're worried about is to their own political parties, their own political agendas. Now, what are you looking at? How many Doomsday Preppers are there? What does that have to do with anything? Well, who remembers the Mayan apocalypse? We covered this in another video, but I just wanted to bring this up again because I think it's important. Do you know how many college funds were cashed in for kids that didn't get to go to college because people thought the world was ending and they dumped all of their kids' college funds into prepping supplies? How many retirement funds were cashed in? How many people stopped paying their mortgages? How many people ruined their credit? I thought this was really funny. I mean, you have to admit it's hilarious to people who've spent their entire lives stockpiling beans and ammo and publishing newsletters about preparing to shelter in place during a global crisis are the ones having meltdowns because they can't go to the Cheesecake Factory. Now, this is kind of true. I really was kind of wondering about this. How many kids walked down to the basement and saw small grocery stores that represented their educations gone? And now that we are pushing 10 years past this was the 2012 apocalypse. All of the stuff you see here, if it had been purchased back in 2010, 2011, it's all bad. It's all trash. A lot of this stuff doesn't have 10-year shelf life. It's gone. It's wasted. Now, do you hear Representative Smith or any other Democrat call for social media to get rid of all of the prepping shows or get rid of all of this kind of stuff? No. I mean, it's confirmable, quantifiable, verifiable, damaging disinformation that caused this. Now, here's where I'm going to confuse some people. There's a Twitch streamer that I follow and I promote. PowerlifterSoldier, certified personal trainer. You see, if you wanted to really prep for some type of an event like this, getting strong and getting healthy and getting in shape, that's the best prep you can have. If you don't believe me, why don't you go look at what happens in the military when you join the military where they're preparing soldiers? You spend a lot more time getting in shape and running and marching and doing all sorts of things to prepare your body and your mind than you do ever with a weapon in your hand. And that's what this promotes. One of the recent videos that I promoted, was where this person in their mid-20s at only 150 pounds was doing straight-legged deadlifts with 352 pounds. It's an incredible achievement. Now, some would say, wait a minute, McKee, hold on. How can you promote something like that and also speak about Scripture? Because I've also promoted the Patriot Nurse. In fact, this is my communities tab right here with both posts right next to it. See, they're both doing things to help. They're both doing things to promote actual preparedness. One of the things that Patriot Nurse talks about on her channel was juicing and fasting and how it's helped her to stay healthy and stay happy, And she's a nurse. You know, she talks about how to be prepared medically and how to have your mind and your body right. Well, that's exactly what this person's doing up here, just in a different way. Now, remember all this? Remember all this garbage? All this trash? You see, there was a lot of damage that was done during this time to the health and well-being of people all around the world, really, but mostly across America. They got obese, stressed out, heart disease. But nobody said a word about this damaging disinformation. Nobody said a word. In fact, people did try to say stuff about this, and they got deplatformed. Now, the final nail in the hypocrisy coffin is this. Who remembers Mad TV? In the context of today's feelings-based society, it would never be allowed to be aired, yet it's still on YouTube. You can find it all over the internet, and nobody's calling for the removal of Mad TV from any platforms, even though they parodied and insulted virtually every single possible minority group they could. Asians, blacks, gays, women, all parodied, all made fun of, all by people of all different races and ethnicities and sexual preferences and genders. And they did so in the context of comedy. Out of New York, out of liberal New York, nominated for 35 Emmys and won 5. Who remembers Lowered Expectations, where they showed two what seemed to be kind of middle-aged, overweight people walking on the beach, and they were making fun of them because they weren't the best looking, they weren't in the best shape. But that was okay. That was fine. That was funny. But yet you hear nobody talking about getting rid of this or condemning this. You see, this is the key. Now, so when I say, go buy Southern, go keep your money in the South, and they say, Florida Monarchy, how dare you say buy from Brazil? How dare you say buy from Mexico instead of Michigan or California? This is why. It's not hypocritical. It's not hypocritical in the least. They, the left, want to destroy the right. They will allow damaging disinformation as long as it destroys conservatives. If they can promote ideas that cause you to gain weight and become morbidly obese and die early, they will promote that, and they will allow that to be promoted. I show pictures of carrots and avocados and honey and organic items that are good and healthy for you, and all of a sudden I'm the hateful one. I show people working out and staying in shape and promoting healthy lifestyles, and all of a sudden I'm hypocritical. You see what they did there? You see, I counsel people to get out of places like this because they use you to enable their hypocritical lifestyle and their hypocritical beliefs. They have no problem destroying the lives of conservatives. They have no problem destroying the lives of Midwesterners, white people, Christians. They have no problem destroying that. It's perfectly okay. But boy, I tell you what, if any information comes out that might cost them a seat in the House, that might take away from their power in government, oh boy, that's the end of the world. You see, Florida has seen through this. We've seen right through it. And this is why we are doing what we're doing. See, they're going to make fun of us no matter what. They're going to call us names no matter what. Nothing we ever do is ever going to be acceptable, so we're just going to put our foot on the accelerator. And we're going to do things to fight back. And if we get called hypocrites, if we get called names because we promote healthy lifestyles and being strong and being motivated and working out, if that makes us a hypocrite, then fine. I mean, whatever. That's where I'm at with this, because the Doomsday Prepper lifestyle, doesn't work for me. I'm not saying don't have some basic supplies. I'm not saying don't have some basic intelligent things set back just in case. But what happened in the late 2010s, 2009, 10, 11, that was ridiculous. Based on the ridiculous. And like I said, quantifiable, verifiable, damaging disinformation completely ignored by the left. Because it damaged Americans they don't like. And that's okay with them. That's okay with Carlos Smith. He's perfectly fine with that. Because he would see that, well, that's your choice, isn't it? That's your choice. If you want to believe that thing, I guess that's just on you. That's what he would say. But what about that other damaging disinformation, Carlos Smith? Do people not have a right to see that or not have a right to make decisions based on that? See the hypocrisy now? A lot of people don't see this. No man, for any considerable period, can wear one face to himself based on feelings and another to the multitude based on even more feelings without finally getting bewildered as to which feelings may be true. And it's actually in this final article. Because they even say it. He said, it isn't the intent of social media companies to limit free speech, but they should have the right to set standards and delete comments they what? They think are inflammatory? No, let me zoom this in. What does it say? Feel are. They feel. See, this is the key. This is the key that they don't want you to see. All they do is feel. All they do is assess their emotions and then make decisions based on them. That's how you know you're dealing with a liberal. And that's how I know when people come and accuse me of this, that, and the other, that I'm dealing with liberals, rhinos, posing as conservatives and thinkers. So I will leave it there. God bless. Happy Sunday. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time.